Hey, my name's Klay. I was lucky enough for Sam to ask me to do a deck profile for you guys. Over the past long weekend, we flew to Melbourne in Australia to play in the Nationals there, and I was lucky enough to come top 8, playing True Draco Demise in my first Nationals, which was pretty cool. So we'll just get straight into the deck profile. Starters, we played 2 Masterpiece. He's good. He's really just a win condition against a lot of decks. I actually found myself siding one of him out every now and again. He's not as crucial to the deck as most people think he is, but yeah, he's still good. Next we play the best monster in the deck, 3 Dynamite Knight. He's a 2/5 body that can just constantly get you resources. If he lives for 2 to 3 turns, you're most likely just going to win the game just for the amount of advantage he gives you. Yeah. We play 1 Majesty's Maiden. She's pretty good. Opening her with Dynamite Knight is really good, but other than that, I'd rather Dynamite Knight. 1 Ignis Heat. He's really good for going second. You can tribute off a trap and attack into a Dryden, or they'll pop him with Dryden, and you can chain, get your heritage. He'll go to the grave, and your heritage will get you a +2 for your trap and him going to the graveyard. So, yeah, he baits out a lot of stuff and gives you advantage. The 1 Max C, it's Max C. Opened it in top 16, which is really good. That's all for the monsters. 3 Disciples, start off the spells. It's really good just to get an extra tribute summon and taking back row. Use the shuffle back effect quite often in grind games, and if you're really looking to push at end game just to get that extra draw to see if you can get another monster on board, it's really good. But the best spell on the deck is 3 True Draco Heritage. This card just gives you so much advantage, draw power, popping back row, extra tribute summons. It's just by far the best spell on the deck. Yeah, that's those ones. Next is 3 Draconic Diagram. It's a really good card, but when I was playing it, I really couldn't care if it got ashed, ogred, all that. It was a very shiny and expensive bait, but yeah, that's really all I used it for. If it lived, yeah, good on it, but other than that, I really wasn't fussed. 2 Terraforming. I actually sided out one of the Terraformings or both of them quite often because I just didn't find Draconic Diagram very important going second. 1 Monarch Stormforth. Really good because it's a quick play spell. Either player's turn, pop it with Diagram, just taking your opponent's monsters for free, and yeah, every time I drew it, I won. 2 Forbidden Chalice. It was really, really good. Stole me a lot of games. Just going first or second. It's just a really good card. Added a Crystal Wing that was indestructible by card effects with an Apocalypse, halving it, using Chalice so I wouldn't gain my attack and beating over it. Otherwise, I had no other out. Played 1 Pot of Desires. Sided out most games. Only resolved it twice during the whole tournament. One time it got ashed, but yeah, it was mainly just an easy side out card. I was trying to avoid Droll and Lockbird and Ash Blossom as much as possible, so yeah, that was why that came out. Only played 2 Pot of Duality. Opening 2 or 3 is just terrible. It's just a dead card after that. At 2, I saw it when I wanted to. Didn't open multiple copies of it all tournament. It was just a really, really good card. And it's an easy side out for whatever you need. And then we played 3 Card of Demise just because it's how the deck runs. It gives you so much advantage. I tend to play this at the end of my turn in my main phase 2 because I never, you can do damage first and then activate it in your main phase 2, but quite often I would just take apart my opponent's board by tributing monsters and then play Card of Demise in main phase 2 after they've used all their resources just to gain card advantage get a few more monsters on board, or even just sec back row, just gives you so much advantage after your opponent's exhausted all their resources. And it's a good top deck, which helps. Under the traps, we played 3 True Draco Apocalypse, just for giving an extra tribute summon in your opponent's turn, and then getting a pop-up monster of your tribute itself. It's just ridiculous. And the halving your opponent's attack come up quite often, especially popping your own traps or spells to remove other ones. I actually outed a Imperial Order, and yeah, it was just really good. Just ways to get around cards that you shouldn't be able to get around. And the best trap in the deck, 3 Trigger Dracos, no, True King's Return, sorry. Just being able to revive a monster every turn, to pop with Diagram, to tribute off, to bring back in your opponent's end phase, and then in your turn you can just switch it to attack and then ram into him. It's just too good. And having pluses to pop after he's destroyed is just crazy. Then we move on to the Solemn Brigade. Only played 2 Solemns. That's all I needed. I saw it because you're digging through your deck about 10, 12 cards in your first turn. Generally you draw into one of these, and having one of these set after you've ended your turn is just so good. And yeah, I didn't really see them both at the same time, which was good. Then we played 1 Skill Drain. Just such a good card. It was a win condition against most decks. Yeah, I made a bit of a mistake in my top 8 matchup where I won game 1, in game 2, had game, tributed my own Skill Drain, didn't enter battle phase and attack because I thought he had a Whiptail in hand, but I forgot I Solemn Warning that the turn before, which was a bit of a mistake. Could have just pushed your game, but yeah, other than that, it was one of the MVPs all weekend. It was just ridiculous. Just shuts out so many decks, and yeah, won me quite a few games. And then the last minute inclusion, yeah, really the morning before, or 3 o'clock in the morning before, it was just putting in 3 Forbidden Apocrypha for this format was just crazy. This was with Norden Live for Fusion Sub going nuts. I went second. 9 out of the 10 dolls I played. And yeah, it was just going, it was ridiculous going first or second. Didn't activate it till round 5, but didn't need to. I started out until then, until I ran into Zoo. Yeah, just outs boards just for free. If your opponent pushes for too much advantage, you can just wipe their board. Yeah, it's just a broken card. Most people didn't know what it did, and it outs my body. My body just can't do anything about it. So yeah, that was the main deck. It's 40 card main deck, no extra deck. So we move on to the side deck. Shout outs to Heracross, got me through the tournament. For starters, with the side deck, we played 2 Flying Sea. Yeah, I wouldn't play this again. I activated it once. My opponent had Barrage, which was sad, but yeah, wouldn't need to play this again. I'd rather these be Ogres. Ogres just seem to be really good in the tournament, and yeah, I wish they were Ogres. I played 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This card does not do enough. It might do in this format, but in the format with Norden and Fusion Sub combos and Terratops and everything, it just doesn't do enough. If you stop one, they'll just go nuts with the other. And yeah, it's still a good card to play against a lot of decks, but Zodiacs can play around it so easy. So yeah, in that matchup, it was pretty ordinary. Domain, played it twice, won twice. It was worth not playing an extra deck to play this card. Shut out 2 decks just completely. And yeah, just a really good card. I wish I saw it more, but yeah. Then I played 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Just a really good card going second. Decided not to main it because I have so much back back row removal in my main deck with the spells going to the graveyard. But this is activating diagram. They don't get rid of your diagram. Chain Cosmic Cyclone. Take one of their back row. Pop your resolving Cosmic Cyclone. 3+. Just crazy. Then the one Regeki. It's Regeki. Never activated it. Still good. I thought I had enough monster removal with my traps going to the graveyard, which I did. Did not have a problem with that. Not sure if I'll keep it in this format. I think I will. Same with the Cosmic Cyclones. I'll probably look to main them in the next format because I think True Dracos will be really good. The one anti-spell won me a game against Invoked. As soon as you slow your opponent down by 1 turn with this deck, you can have their spell cards set during your turn, pop them with your spells, your opponent has no resources, game over. This deck just steamrolls after that. It's just crazy. 2 Solemn Strike. It was alright. It's Strike. It's a good card. Yeah, saw it a little bit. Yeah, there's not too much else to say about it. I'm not real sure if I'm going to run these in the next format with True Dracos being a thing. But yeah, I might try and fit 3 Ogres in, so I'll see how I go. 2 Storming Mirror Force, such a good card. A lot of people are maining 3 My Body as a shield. Outs that. Even if it sends their resources back to their extra deck when they attack with extra deck monsters, it just doesn't matter. If they've used all their resources to get that board out and pushing for your game anyway, you can just make them cry. Yeah, it's just so good. Outs Dinos, just yeah, really good. Then finally, 2-Dimensional Barrier. Just a crazy card, you know. It's D-Barrier. Won me a game. That's all I had to do. Slowed my opponent down for another game. That's all I had to do. It did its job. I would probably play it again. It's just a turn skip for your opponent, really. And yeah, and that's the deck. 40 card deck, 15 side. Yeah, that got me to top 8. Was pretty happy. Quick tournament report was we played 8 games of Swiss, and yeah, I ended up going X2, which was pretty good. Ended up top 16. So my games were game 1. I played Dark Lords. He opened Christia and Vanity's Fiend, and didn't realise what I was playing. The no extra deck should have helped with that, but it didn't. Yeah, those cards don't do anything in this deck. I just pushed for game too hard. Game 2 was Dinos. I had Chalice out his True King of All Calamities, both going second. I had no play after that, and just rolled him. Game 3 was Ross with his Windwitch Invoke deck. Yeah, that was a really good matchup. Crystal Wing that can't be destroyed by card effects is really hard for this deck to deal with. Gains your attack if you go to lay into it with Masterpiece. And yeah, I ended up cutting him in half with Apocalypse, chaining Chalice, and then attacking him with Masterpiece, just because it's the only way to get over him. And yeah, when you don't see Monarch Stormforce for both games, you need to find another out. Game 5 was to Woe with his Pure Zoo deck. Forbidden Apocrypha come into play so much. Both games are an absolute blowout. As soon as he overcommitted, enter battle phase, attack, the whole lot go to the graveyard. Had no recovery. That was game over. Those first 5 games were 2-0, which put me in a really good position. Then I played Stephen in game 6. He ended up taking out the event. He 2-0'd me. Yeah, he played exceptionally well. Open instant fusion, double fusion sub combo. It was just ridiculous. Too much advantage. Just had every answer. Just too good. Game 7, played Dark Synchro. Now, I had no right to win that game. Ian played exceptionally well. First game, open double Quasar with Cypher and negated everything just too much. OTK'd me next turn. Game 2, open D-Barrier drew into domain, turn 2. He scooped, just had no play. Game 3, he opened double quasar and cipher, and he passed. Then I set 4, activated diagram, passed, and he ended main phase. He brought out a drill warrior, and I chained apocalypse to tribute. He negated. I chained skill drain. He negated. I chained forbidden apocrypha. Sent the whole lot to the graveyard, and he had nothing, no extra deck left, with no resources. It was really unlucky on his part. He played so well, and he deserved to win that game. But yeah, that's how it goes. But, game 8, I ended up playing another pure zoo deck. He too owed me. He just had all the answers and just too much card advantage. But that was X2 after 8 rounds. It put me in 13th position after Swiss, which was pretty good. I was pretty happy still to make top 16 after that. Then I went into top 16 and played the same guy, Leo, that I played in game 8. I ended up 2-0ing him. Just skill drain was just a blowout both games. Zoo have no out to skill drain if they don't draw into cyclones or twin twisters that have been sided in. It's just too good. And then moved into top 8 when I played Callum with his pure zoo deck. And won game 1 quite easily. Game 2, should have pushed for game. Tributed my own skill drain. And I lost that game. Just miscounted cards, just misplayed, and he played really well. In game 3, it was really close, went into time, and it was really, really good grind, and I enjoyed it. And he ended up making top 4, so well done. And that concludes the deck profile. Ended up getting these cool sleeves and a mat for the tournament, which was pretty cool. And I'm really looking forward to the Oceanics if I can get there. Shout outs to my brother Josh, Rowan and Lockie for coming to Melbourne with me. It was a long trip, but we got there and back, which was good. To the Whaler lads, Shane, Kai, Peter and Jamie, who come along, helped me get ready the night before, did a little bit of practicing. Didn't actually get to use the deck until the night before, so playing my brother on Death Pro for 3 weeks beforehand was pretty crucial and it helped. To the Adelaide boys that made top cut, it did really well. South Australia had a really good representation in top 16 and top 32. It was a pity the boys couldn't go much further than that. And shout outs to the Cave, which is our local in Whaler, that's actually closing its doors this weekend for the last time, which sucks. We won't have a local to go to anymore, but hopefully someone else picks it up. It'd be really exciting if someone did. And thanks to Sam again for letting us do the deck profile. Thanks. Go T Sam.